All right, I wanted to make a video going over some different verticals. So, if you're doing a lead broker business, what you need to start learning about is each individual vertical. Now, I started going out and finding lead providers for you because the lead providers are actually, it's harder to find good lead providers. When I was brokering, there were some great ones, there were some sucky ones. I got screwed over. So you definitely want to be careful when it comes to lead providers. So figured to help out, let me try the best I can, to find some good ones for you. I, obviously this will be a work in progress. Some may be good today, they suck tomorrow. You just never know, right? It's just one of those things. But I just want to go over some different verticals, kind of give you a little bit of understanding. So sorry for my mess here, but right here are the different types of leads that you're going to sell, most of the time. You have online forms, okay? That's just someone sees an ad online, they fill out a form, and you get that information, maybe name, email, phone number, company name, or, income, whatever it is, right? So it's an online form. Or it could be a call from a website or from like a Google ad, something like that, where someone just dials in. Then what happens is you have a live transfer. A live transfer is where like a call center calls out on data, gets somebody on the phone, asks qualifying questions. So just as an example, you have, let's just say for business loan leads, you have qualifying questions could be how much revenue do you generate? And they have to generate a certain amount of revenue. Maybe it's $10,000 per month in revenue. Maybe they have to be in business for at least 6 months. Maybe they need a certain credit score, right? Whatever it is, there's just qualifying questions for whatever the lead is. And as long as they fit those, then basically they'll get transferred, right, to the buyer. So it goes from the call center of the lead provider to the call center of the lead buyer. Okay, and then once that transfer is done, you basically get paid for the lead. Now, for the two calls, usually when it comes to live transfer, there's a buffer. So it could be like a 2-minute buffer, 60-second buffer, 30-second buffer, 3-minute buffer, whatever it is, right? It could be whatever it is, it is. And then you only charge the lead buyer if the call lasts that long. So if it's a 2-minute buffer, then the call has to last 2 minutes for the lead buyer to pay. And things will happen. Maybe some sneaky people out there be like, oh, let me just try to tell him I'll call him back, and to get under the 2 minutes. People, I guess, do that. I've never had it happen to me, but it's a thing. So little things here and there you'll pick up. So usually online calls, like if someone sees a call on a website or a Google ad, they usually don't do buffers as much. Again, it's always going to be different for everybody, but you'll figure it out as you go. Radio and TV, there could or could not be a buffer too, and this is just a straight call from a radio or TV ad. There are companies that will do calls on a paid per call basis off of radio and TV, only for certain verticals, obviously. So I'll give you a list of verticals that you could utilize for radio and TV. So there is going to be a web page with a bunch of verticals on it for you. So, like I said, I have forms, online forms, calls from the internet, live transfers from call centers. You have radio and TV verticals, okay? Those are just straight calls from radio or TV, and usually those are between certain times, maybe like an 8 a.m. to an 8 p.m. type of thing. They can also, say, I want, so many calls per day, stuff like that. You can even do that for live transfers and stuff. Everything, depending on the lead provider, you're going to figure out what you can and cannot do. For calls, it could be, how many concurrent calls. Like I'll only take 3 calls at the same time, and that's it. or so many calls per day, or I don't want nights and weekends, stuff like that. So, those are the types of things you'll start to learn. Data and age leads are basically just like an Excel spreadsheet, right? Whether it's an age lead or just straight data. Like an age lead is, like for example, a lead that's generated maybe online, let's just say an online form, and then it's an age lead means it's at least so many days old. It could be 5 days old, 30 days old, 6 months old, a year old. So that's just like an aged lead. Data, a lot of people just mix these words up, but really data, is more of like just like a list of leads, or I should say list, just a list of names, right? So you could buy data for anything. You can buy data like, I just want data for people that own homes, people that have student loans, people that own a business, right? It's just straight data. Doesn't mean that they were a lead, it's just data. So this is the good stuff. I love selling data and age leads because once you own it, it's pure profit, and you can monetize that however you want. You can monetize it 100 times if you want to. Of course, you will kill the data if you do that. So you try to be good about it, but to keep the quality up, you obviously sell it less. But the thing is not to get one, 50,000 leads and just sell them 100 times, and that's all you're ever going to do. You obviously want to have consistent buyers buying leads from you, whether it's data or whatever, and you always have fresh leads flowing through. So these are leads types, okay? These are the different verticals that you can kind of dabble with. I should have threw in credit repair and business loans. I'll throw those in too, just so I don't forget about them. So let's just say biz loans and credit repair. So these two are the ones that, credit repair and business loans are the ones that I currently generate. These are from other people. So let me just go over different things. So I'll just start with business loans. Okay, if you want to start writing down some notes, or you should have been starting writing down some notes about this stuff. So business loans, what you want to do is, you're going to sell more forms and aged leads with business loans. Typically, they usually want forms or aged leads. People may say they want calls, but I just never had success doing live transfers for business loans. So you can certainly try to find somebody to resell their live transfers and see if it works for you. But I've had way more success selling forms and data or age leads. Credit repair, I typically sell just real-time credit repair leads. I think I've only sold aged credit repair leads a few times. Just everybody wants fresh stuff when it comes to credit repair for whatever reason. No, I never even attempted to sell a credit repair call. I had one company take them, but I never really pushed that. Not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying I never really pushed that. So these are forms, and these I sold age leads, and these I really never sold age leads before. So that's just what that is. I'm not saying that you can't sell the other stuff for these verticals, just saying just what I've done and what I've seen people ask for. Mortgage, I really never did that much of mortgage. I kind of did a little bit when I first started. I don't like mortgage mainly because I never really got into it because there's so many filters. Maybe if it's state, filters, the LTV filters, it could be anything, jumbo low, all this stuff. There's so much. I think, refinance a mortgage versus a new purchase was big for a while. Never really did that much mortgage, but you can sell mortgage data or mortgage leads, live transfers of data. So it's possible, there's plenty of buyers that want it. You just have to deal with all the filtering and make sure that the company that you're selling, that's selling you leads, is doing a good job. But, the company that I am talking to, pretty sure, again, I'll give you the link for it, but they were just pushing live transfers and data. Actually, no, they're doing forms too. So they're doing age leads, forms, and transfers. So just so you know, student loan consolidation. Obviously, that's people have a student loan trying to refi or do a consolidation. Student loan industry is a mess, as you know. There's a decent there's a lot of buyers in the student loan space, so it's a good vertical. If I had to give you advice on which verticals maybe to start with, I would probably say student loan, business loan, credit repair, and tax. The debt, maybe debt. I never really did too much in auto insurance, auto warranty. I would probably do auto warranty more than auto insurance. Again, there's buyers everywhere. I'm just saying like the easy stuff to kind of get going, but they all work. There's plenty of buyers across all the verticals. But radio and TV, there's a whole other list of verticals just for radio and TV that I'll give you on a page, and they're all good, right? So you just got to go out and just do the marketing for each individual vertical and figure out what works for you. So student loan, they like calls and data. When I did a decent amount of student loan, and I never really sold a lot of forms. Just it was hard to sell. They just wanted calls or data. Tax relief, you can do similar, calls or data. It was a little harder to sell forms. They just wanted calls or data. When I say tax relief debt, it's called like tax relief or tax debt or like tax debt consolidation. So there's like different words for them. So if you do Google ads, you want to use all these words like tax relief leads, tax debt leads, tax debt consolidation leads, tax debt age leads, tax relief age leads, right? All these different words, right? And that goes for everything. Debt consolidation, that's obviously just debt. Typically they want, tax usually is over $10,000 in debt to the IRS. Debt consolidation is usually around the same, $10,000 or so. I never really sold a ton of debt, but I'm assuming that you can sell forms and calls for that, and data. That should be a good one for that. Auto insurance I never really got into, and auto warranty I never really got into, but I know warranty's big, and they'll probably want calls for that. But again, these are all things that we all have to learn. I haven't done every single vertical that exists, but you just basically want to go out. If you have the lead source, you just go out and find the buyers for each one. But they're all the company I was talking to is auto warranty. They do online forms and leads. Auto insurance, they just told me they had age leads, and which isn't the worst thing in the world to sell leads. For the radio and TV, they got like credit card debt settlement, final expense, which is a pretty big vertical, health insurance, mortgage, pain relief, rehab, reverse mortgage, student loan consolidation, and tax. They call it tax resolution, right? So everybody, sometimes it's some different names for this stuff. So those are like different verticals that you can get involved in. But yeah, I kind of just want to give you like a quick rundown of everything. It's all good stuff. I gotta tell you, I've closed so many deals just off an email, right? I've closed deals obviously on the phone, but when you sell leads, it's just about getting a test order. Do not try to swing for the fences. You don't need to be the best salesperson. All you need to do is be competent enough to talk to somebody and get them to try you out. Do a test. That's it. That's all. That's the goal. Take the order for hundreds of dollars. Don't tell people they have to spend thousands of dollars with you. Now, every company that you work with, right, whoever you're buying leads from, they're all going to be different in their minimum orders. So you want to start asking those questions. What minimum order size do you have? Or am I allowed to do any filtering, like for state? Like, can I exclude any states just in case your buyer wants that? How long does it take from the time I place an order to the time I get the leads? These are questions that you want to ask the lead provider, right? So you have all these questions for you. The best advice I can give you for anything sales related is when you're talking to somebody on the phone and you don't know the answer to whatever question they ask you, always say, my partner handles that. My partner handles that side of the business. Let me get back to you. That person's on vacation. Whatever you want to say, but take it off of you so you don't answer the question wrong. Don't guess. You never want to do that. Just basically just say, my partner handles that. Let me get back to you. That's all. Done. Right? And eventually, you're going to get all the questions answered, right? And then you'll be able to answer them all yourself. So it doesn't matter what the question is. Always use that in your back pocket. Then you'll never have to worry. You'll never have to be on the phone and be like, oh my God, I can't talk to this person. I don't know if I'm going to know all the answers. Because just start writing them down. As they go, you just have to go through it a few times and you will have there's only so many questions that people ask, right? They're going to want to know, what's the quality of your leads? Everyone's going to ask that. What's the conversion rate? How are they generated? What's the cost per acquisition? If I buy 100 student loan leads from you for $20 a piece, so that's $2,000, right? If I buy that, how many am I going to close? If I close 3, then that means your cost per acquisition is like, almost $700, right? So you got to, start to learn those numbers. Whenever someone tries to get answers out of me, like, do these leads work? Are they going to work for me? The best thing I can say is, listen, what I've learned in all the years I've been doing this stuff is that it all comes down to the buyer. The more you educate the buyer, the more they'll feel comfortable with you. And you can listen to some of the sales calls I've done, and so you can listen to those, and you'll start to understand and hear some of the things I say, just to make them feel more comfortable on the phone, or make them feel comfortable in me. When people say, hey, how good are the leads? I say, well, listen, it really comes down to you. I like to say, if I sell these at 10 different companies, right, and they all buy similar leads from me, half will succeed and half will fail. It's just the way it works. So I kind of throw that in their face a little bit, and I say, listen, your success is going to determine your efforts. The leads work. I wouldn't be here as long as I have if they don't. I say that type of stuff. If you don't feel comfortable saying that you generate leads, because you probably don't, just say, hey, yeah, I have my partner, takes care of the lead generation. That's all. You can say I'm, partner with anybody, right? Yeah, I partner with this company to resell their leads, So there's nothing wrong with that. And so you just happen to be, the sales arm, however you want to word it. If you tell people that you're a true broker, they may not want to work with you. So, but you never know. So that's it. I'll make more videos and stuff and other things, but this is pretty much a good starting point for you. Kind of break things down. Listen, at the end of the day, you need to do the research, ask questions, and just do it. Don't not do it because you feel that you don't know the answers, or you're going to make mistakes, or you're going to screw up, or you don't know everything. Who cares? When I first started, I just did it. I made mistakes, but I figured it all out. I got all the questions answered, and I just kept moving forward. So that's all you have to do. It doesn't matter if you screw up one call. No one cares. You move on to the next one. There's so many buyers, so many verticals, so many types of leads. It's impossible not to make money in this business as long as you're putting the work in. So whether you're doing cold calling, whether you're doing paid marketing, having lead buyers come to you, it doesn't matter. It all works. Some is more time consuming than others, but it's just up to you to put the work in. So that's it for now. I'll leave you guys to it, and I'll make some videos soon.